Hello, hello, and welcome back to Teaching Tai Chi with Purpose. In this instructor development series, we're looking at 9 research-informed insights that can help us support our students more effectively, especially older adults coming to Tai Chi for balance, mobility, stress reduction, confidence to maintain their independence, and better overall health. In the last video, we talked about insight number 3, the balance advantage, and how Tai Chi helps students not just train stability, but recover from instability. Today, we're moving into insight number 4, the cognitive advantage. And this one is important because Tai Chi is often described as physical movement, and of course it is. But anyone who's been practicing for a while already knows there's actually a lot more going on upstairs. The ATCQA Presentation highlights that Tai Chi research shows improvements in areas like attention, memory, and executive function. But those benefits depend on active mental participation. In other words, students don't get the full cognitive benefit just by going through the motions. They get more benefit when the brain is engaged in the practice. And again, this is a really useful teaching point because Tai Chi asks students to coordinate posture, weight shift, breath, direction, timing, sequencing, and awareness. That's not just exercise, that's brain training in motion. And for older adults, this is a big one. Many students are not only concerned about balance and mobility, they're also concerned about memory, focus, confidence, and staying mentally sharp. Tai Chi gives us a beautiful way to train those things without making it feel like a test. So, what can we do with this as instructors? Well, one simple teaching opportunity here is to keep students mentally engaged without overwhelming them. We don't need to make every class like super complicated. We just need to keep it intentional. For example, in a familiar move like deflect, parry, and punch, we might ask students to silently name the parts: shift, turn, step, parry, push, like that. Or we might ask, where does the movement begin? When does the weight shift? What is the timing between the hand and the foot? Can you feel the rhythm? These questions invite attention, and attention is part of the training. A simple cue might be, don't just repeat the movement, be curious, dig into the movement. That one word, curious, that can be very helpful because curiosity keeps the brain awake. It turns repetition into exploration. Another class application is to occasionally change the focus of a familiar sequence. Round 1 might be about posture. The next round might be about the timing. The next round might be about breath. The next round might be about visualizing the purpose of the movement. Same sequence, a different mental task each time. That keeps the practice fresh without constantly adding new choreography. And that's important because sometimes students think that progress means just learning more movements, but progress can also mean paying more attention to the movements that we already know. That's where the cognitive engagement deepens. Now, we want to be careful about this. For some students, too many instructions can create frustration. So the goal is not to overload the brain. The goal is to invite the brain into the practice. One focus at a time, one layer at a time, one useful question at a time. Here's a simple self-practice invitation. So at home, practice one familiar movement like repulse the monkey for 2 or 3 minutes. As you move, silently name each part of the movement. Then repeat it again, this time focusing on breath. It's practical, it's doable, and it helps students to understand that mental focus is not separate from Tai Chi, it's part of Tai Chi. So the small shift with the big impact: don't let repetition become autopilot. Repetition is valuable, but mindful repetition is where the deeper training happens. When students stay mentally engaged, they're not just memorizing a form, they're training attention, sequencing, coordination, timing, and awareness. And that's the heart of insight number 4. The key takeaway of this ATCQA presentation reminds us that Tai Chi becomes most effective when practiced consistently and with purpose. Train movement, breath, and awareness together, challenge balance and coordination appropriately, and adapt movements to your own body. When students bring attention and curiosity into practice, they begin to use Tai Chi more fully. And that's how great instructors turn gentle movement into measurable transformation. So if this sparked any ideas for your own class, or you've got any questions about how to apply it, let us know in the comments, all right? And stay tuned for the next video, where we'll look at insight number 5, the precision effect, because sometimes the smallest adjustments create the biggest benefits. All right, I'm Dr. Dave. Thanks for watching. Cheers.